commentary team at Indianapolis.
At IMSA Radio off the number 30. Oh my goodness, Rob Ferriol for Team Hardpoint is well onto what is very damp grass. And Michelin slick tyres give you wonderful grip when they're on the hard standing, when you're on damp grass and you have a little bit of an incline. This is going to take a bit of very clever driving. Don't spin the wheels, Rob. Tick over. He's come out of the oak tree corner, gone way wide with a little bit too much right foot and spun back across from the extreme left of the track onto the beautiful green area. We should have a cricket pitch cut into that, you know, JS. We should absolutely have a cricket pitch.
It's a bit hilly up there. That's the only problem.
I've played on worse, mate. I've played on worse. I promise you that. And he goes off onto the grass, and now he's going to really struggle to get back on. The checkered flag has come out, so he'll ride at the hog pen, and that's exactly what's happened. Missed his turning point. Oh, no, he didn't. He lost the back end as he was going into the second part of 17. He's actually been a bit lucky there, Jeremy, as he was following the Acura ahead of him, the Gradient Racing car. He spun to the inside, and he was lucky not to get picked up by the following car and to find his way back onto the track. Almost had to check his pass there, he was so far off.
Yeah, that was a bit of a wild run. I think he probably...
And surely everybody else will look like Till was on his own, turns in, loses the back end. No, lost a little bit of the front, then the back. That was an odd one. We might be able to get that out of there if controller. Now, oh, nasty wiggle for the hardpoint car. Got onto the grass. You try not to do anything, but by then you're heading towards the tyre barrier. He was about a minute and just over a minute and 10 seconds. Hang on, I'll come back to that. Where was the mistake for the 25? Answer, oak tree. Lost the back end of the car and hit the wall on driver's left on the outside of the corner, but that was loose.
Over to things heating up at VIR, both on the racetrack, and a big crash there in turn one. It's like two cars have gotten together in the braking zone.
So number 3 and number 33, I think. That's Lance Wilsey, the number 3 white car, and Greg Palmer. Whoops. Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Lance just lost it under braking.
It looked like the rear end snapped out. Pretty significant damage.
He'll try and, if he can hang on, if Tony Kazmis can hang on to the tail of Matt Bell and not, oops, there's a big spin. That's David Grant. He's just been overtaken. Kirkwood up into 5th place. He's now got about 4 seconds to catch up the next car on the road. That's the 4th place machine of Stephen McAleer. So let's see what happens. Yeah, he just carried a little bit too much speed into Oak Tree Turn.
Said Jeremy. Kyle Kirkwood in the 47, and now a problem for the 36. That's down at Hogpen, I believe, onto the front straightaway.
Yeah, who's had a quick spin now. He's at the back of the field. He was trying to get out of the way there. Oops, or maybe he wasn't trying to get out of the way. He was taken surprise there by Tony Kazmis going past him, and I hope he hasn't high-sided that car on the...
Continued his move forward. A little bit of unnecessary hip contact there from the two gentlemen I mentioned earlier before. Kenny Murillo locked up as well in the number 56, just managed to miss David Brule. I don't think he quite tapped him. Yellow and red car sitting in behind, but getting on for 2 seconds back now as off has gone Efren Castro. Not the first time you've heard me say that this weekend, Jeremy Shaw.
Club with Kurt Swaring, and they've been trading back and forth on fastest laps so far, but you just run.
That will be a battle for 9th in Platinum, and overall, as we're coming down to 18 minutes to go, and here's the first spinner. Oh, it's Dickinson again. He's spinning the wheels forward on the wet grass, but it's all downhill off the edges of the circuit. Literally get forward momentum. So Dickinson already down to 6th position and just went wide coming out of Oak Tree. Now there is a little more paving there than there used to be. Stickly late braking, Mr. Shaw, at the top of the hill. And turn one, oh, and that is that Werner McClure who's just spun round, the number 10 car. That's a turn one, and this is going to be a full course yellow with 14 minutes to go. 2 cars involved, gathered it all together. And who was coming through? It was the 18, excuse me, the 18 car. So that, in fact, was Richard Edge, who lost it all on his own and arrived backwards at turn 1. It's an unlucky day when you're minding your own business on a racetrack and somebody reverses into you at 70 or 80 miles an hour. The impact actually was from the front of Richard's car, but my goodness, that's a heavy hit. Put the wheels on the grass and Charlie looks off. That must have been on the restart, because that's at the entrance to the pit lane. Yes, he put the wheels on the grass, spun across the field, circuit, and it's it's a Hyundai for sure, and it went off at unabated speed and got through to the second layer of that. And his team as well, because they've played, for the moment at least, an absolute blinder. As off goes the number 33, that's the bright red Hyundai. I was about to say manages to hold on to it. This was third in class. Got it back, pointing in the right direction, but my goodness me, right at the top of the S's. He's done very well indeed. Floored the throttle as you do in a front-wheel drive car, and somehow...
And he had at Road America, then Lance Wilsey spins, gets stuck in the grass. So damp here this weekend, heavy rains on Friday. Down to turn 1, Madison Snow and that white 16 gets shuffled to the middle. He's the meat in the sandwich, and contact early on. I think it was the 24 of Leo Lamellis, Jeremy, that got to the side of Edson.
I think it was, and ironically, those two, there's another car off the road as well. That's Lamellis, I think, also off the road again himself this time at turn 2. Ironically, so the good news is perhaps that the number 6 car is able to get going again. Hopefully no damage. Let's have a look at the replay. Edson's a long way clear heading into the first corner. Lamellis dives down the inside. He passes about 3 cars and then just takes out the race leader, Jacob Edson, who's completely minding his own business. That was a pretty poor move there from Leo Lamellis. And as you see there, the Michelin hanging on there in 3rd position. There's a gap now of about 5 seconds back to Corey Lewis. So there goes...
That may not play well with the officials. We'll have to look at that one again.
Nor a certain Brazilian.
Face, perhaps, as Sergio Jimenez. Let's see. This is into 11, then 12. Oak Tree, Snow peeks down to the inside. Jimenez turns in, and he just wasn't there.
Pin that on Madison Snow. That was, for somebody of his experience,